So, my supreme namaskarams to Honorable Sri Padmanabh Rao Garu and her daughter and his daughter Sri Sailaja Garu, and best wishes to all of you. అందరికీ నా యొక్క హృదయపూర్వక నమస్కారములు. My supreme namaskarams to all of you. Today we will be speaking or discussing about very important and valuable rights of citizens. And before talking about it, we must know who is a citizen of this country. How you decide that a particular person is citizen of this country. You know very well that the Constitution of India is adopted, enacted and given to ourselves on 26th November 1949 by the Constituent Assembly under the chairmanship of B.R. Ambedkar, with and after full discussion about the draft constitution that was submitted for consideration before the Constituent Assembly. In the preamble of our constitution, which is a very lengthy and consisting of various important provisions and details, having 395 articles and 22 parts and 12 schedules at present. By the date of passing or making this constitution on 26th November 1949, in the preamble, we were not having the word sovereign democratic republic, and we added those words. With effect from 3/1/1977 as per the 42nd Amendment Act 1976. I read the preamble in order to have a proper understanding of various articles of the Constitution. Unless and until we know what we resolved to constitute India, we cannot understand the purport and the actual meaning and the effect of each word in any part of the Constitution, especially the fundamental rights. So what is there in the preamble is that this particular constitution, our constitution, is given by the people of India after having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a socialist secular and to secure to all its citizens. But subsequently, these words sovereign democratic republic are added. So now what we want to achieve and what we constituted is, what we resolved to constitute India is into a sovereign socialist secular democratic republic. And then what we want to secure to all citizens is justice. What type of justice? Justice, social, economic and political. And then liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. And then equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. So this is what we want to achieve, and we want to achieve, as we mentioned in the preamble, all these various important goals for our people of India. For that, the concept is we want to achieve the welfare state. Welfare state where everybody will have justice, liberty, equality, and there will be fraternity, and all people will have food, shelter, and freedom in all aspects. So, what we need to know is two important aspects. One is that in the Constitutional Assembly, when this constitution is passed on 26th day of November 1949, we have decided that we are adapting, enacting, and giving the constitution to ourselves. And especially, we have to know, though constitution in the Constituent Assembly is passed or bill, a constitution is made on 26th November 1949, but we celebrate the Republic Day on 26th January 1950. What was happened on that day is we replaced all the old acts. What were the old acts? When we go through Article 395, we understand that the Government of India Act 1935 and also the Indian Independence Act 1947, both were repealed as per Article 395. After repealing them, we say this constitution made our country, India, that is Bharat, as a republic. On what date? It was made republic on 26/1/1950. Due to that, we say the Republic Day is on 26 January 1950, the first Republic Day, and whereas the Constitution is adopted, enacted, and given to ourselves on 26th November 1949. Till date, we have had 72 Republic days, functions, and celebrated them with heart and soul. It is important, as per Article 395, that the abolition of Privy Council Jurisdiction Act 1949 is not repealed. So with this, we understand from Article 395 that two acts which are important acts, that is the Indian Independence Act 1947 and the Government of India Act 1935, both were repealed. With this, we stop regarding Article 395 and we'll go further and understand about how and why a person becomes citizen. For this, we have to know what is the territory of India and what is the name of India. So, out of 22 parts, the first part, that is part 1, it deals with the union and its territory. It says in Article 1 that India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. Shall be a union of states. What are the states and territories that are added or part of the Indian territory are as specified in the first schedule. The states and territories thereof shall be as specified in the first schedule. So we have to look into the first schedule in order to understand whether a particular part of land is part of India or not. India means that is Bharat. It shall be a union of states. Then three aspects or three things are part of the territory of India. One is the territories of the states. The territory of India shall comprise A, the territories of the states, B, the union territories specified in the first schedule, And third and most important is such other territories as may be acquired. Such other territories as may be acquired. So these three clubbed together, they are the part of the territory of India, and that is Bharat. Then another article which is very important is in respect of this territory of India, the Union and its territories, is formation of new states and alteration of areas, boundaries or names of existing states. So Parliament has got power to make law for this. You know about division of the Andhra Pradesh into two separate states by forming Telangana out of the Andhra Pradesh, combined Andhra Pradesh state area. So this, the Parliament has exercised the power. Likewise, many union territories are formed in Jammu and Kashmir. Union territories are formed. Union territory for Jammu and Kashmir and also union territory for other Ladakh area are separately formed. So this power the Parliament has got under Article 3 of the Constitution of India 1950. Then we go and read and understand the very important aspect of the citizenship of Indians. That is dealt with in part 2 of the Constitution of India. Part 2 of the Constitution of India consists of articles 5 to 11. So 6 articles. The first article is citizenship at the commencement of the Constitution. That is Article 5. It says about what is the citizenship. It says at the commencement of this Constitution, every person who has his domicile in the territory of India and who was born in the territory of India. That means to say, if a person is domicile, that is permanent residence in the territory of India, and he was born in the territory of India, that person is citizen of India. Or either of whose parents was born in the territory of India. If any one of the parent of a person was born in the India, in the territory of India, then that person also a citizen of this country. The third and most important thing, qualification or claim for becoming a citizen of this country, that is India, Bharat, who has been ordinarily resident in the territory of India for not less than 5 years, immediately preceding such commencement. That is to say, prior to the date of passing of this Constitution on 26 November 1949, if any person stayed as an ordinary resident in the territory of India for not less than 5 years, then that person also becomes the citizen of our country. So, in order to know who is citizen of a country, that is our country in India, apart from looking into the Citizenship Act, we have to understand Article 5, which says different yardsticks to claim a person as an Indian citizen. If a person has to claim as a citizen of this country, then he must place evidence to show that his claim comes within Article 5 of this Constitution of India. So we need to know what is the territory of India first. For that, we have to look into Article 1 of the Constitution of India, and it says all the states and the union territories and any other land that may be acquired or formed in future also part of the India, part of the territory of India. Then where from you will come to know what are the states and what are the union territories that are there in India. You can know from where? You can know from Article 1 read with, Article 1 read with, Article 1 read with, Schedule 11, Schedule 1. In the Schedule 1, all the states and territories are mentioned. So after accepting and finding from Schedule 1 about a particular part is part of India or not, you can then look into whether that person qualified himself and comes within Article 5 of the Constitution of India. Then only we can say that person is Indian citizen or not. You know very well that there was a lot of controversy previously about the citizenship of the Sonia Gandhi, president of Congress I party. You know about Bodo movement in Assam, and also Bangladesh citizens or some other countries' citizens coming into our country and claiming that they have been residing in India since a long time. So the citizenship may be given to them. Then there is a law made by the present there is a law made by the present government in order to give citizenship to some of them. So that way, in order to know who is a citizen of this country, we need to consider all these things. I think you have understood now about the citizenship of an Indian, if anybody wants to claim that. Then we go to the next topic. Padmanabharav garu, సార్ వినపడటం లేదు.
చెప్పండి సార్.
సిటిజన్షిప్ గురించి అయిపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు
విన్నాను బాగుంది. దాని డీటెయిల్డ్